Welcome to the Rallye du Maroc, one of the biggest events on the Rally Raid calendar. With a prestigious win up for grabs, World Championships to be decided, and the Dakar on the horizon, there's plenty at stake in this 2025 edition. There's also a new sheriff in town, with David Castera handing over the directorship of the rally to former Bike Supremo Mark Coma. He talks us through what is coming up this week.
Well, we are starting Fez, so it's a very special city, but we have a long way to arrive to the desert. So this means that the first day will be a Dakar format, where we will have a long liaison, long stage. But then we are in the Arfoot area for the stage 2 until stage 5, so we can play with the design of the stages to have all the ingredients that we need to create something interesting.
Interesting and no doubt very tough if recent history is anything to go by. It starts with today's 19-kilometre prologue before the rally sets up shop in Arfoot for several loops in and around the dunes. Almost 1,500 kilometres against the clock across some of the sport's most challenging terrain with tricky navigation to boot. The Rallye du Maroc is definitely not for the faint of heart. Well, the start list this week is a who's who of Rally Raid royalty. All of the big guns are here, and no fewer than 229 vehicles are taking part. Daniel Sanders is already the king on 2 wheels, but the battle for the ultimate crown is going down to the wire, with 3 drivers still in the hunt.
Nasr Al-Atiyah,
Henk Lautgan, Lucas Moraes.
With only 10 points in it, we are set for an almighty scrap.
everything coming very close. This is really nice for the motorsport. It means like a lot of driver is interested to beat me, you know, how to win this championship. But okay, I will try to win again.
Well, Daniel Sanders has been a cut above this season, but the race to finish second in the World Rally Raid Championship is most definitely on. Luciano Benavides has a 3-point advantage on Tosha Sharina and Ricky Brabeck, but they both finished ahead of him today. The Argentine said you had to have your eyes open. The riders had to pass within 20 metres of the waypoints to validate them, and the notes came thick and fast. But he still had some fun on his way to 4th place, and he wasn't the only one. Sharina was second despite struggling with arm pump from kilometre 5 onwards, but he pointed out that the real battle starts tomorrow. The day's victory went to Brabeck, who's made what could prove to be a key adjustment to his handlebar setup. He found enough grip to win by just 1 second from Tosha.
Overall was good. I felt good on the bike. You know, the improvements that we made last week training I think, dude, the bike's just so easy to ride now and it's fun. I don't think I made any mistakes, and yeah, let's go try to take a nap and wake up at 2 a.m.
And what about the new world champ? Well, Sanders cut a slightly frustrated figure at the finish line because he mistakenly thought he'd missed a waypoint today, and that no doubt cost him more than the 5 seconds that he shipped to Brabeck. Careful, mate.
It was really hard to find the way and to read the road book as well with this high speed. It was like read it, follow the track, and yeah, I just slowed down way too much because I thought I had to turn around to catch a waypoint because I missed one. So we'll regroup tonight and get ready for the big day tomorrow.
The Australian having to settle for 3rd place. Only 10 seconds separated the top 4 on the day, with the outgoing world champion Ross Branch 5th in RallyGP at 18 seconds. Edgar Canet is out to secure the World Cup title in Rally 2 this week. The Spaniard came 2nd in class today, describing it as a bit of a weird prologue. On a day of very fine margins in the bikes, he missed out on victory by a single second. And being the fierce competitor that he is, even at 20 years of age, he wasn't best pleased about it. Canet nevertheless the 6th fastest biker on the day, and clearly having at least a bit of fun. The Rally 2 win went to Michael Doherty, who's currently second behind Canet in the World Cup standings, 14 points adrift. He'll be a man to watch this week, especially in the dunes. The South African had a rough time of it at the last round in Portugal, but he's already off to a strong start here as he tries to round out the season on a high note.
Yeah, no, it feels good to start, you know, burn out all the cobwebs, but yeah, overall good. Nice smooth prologue, no mistakes, so that was the main key. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. That's when the big race starts, and yeah, going to give it my all for this rally.
Tobias Ebster, Martin Ventura and Preston Campbell rounding out the top 5 in Rally 2, 27 seconds separating the top 5 on this prologue. Eight riders are competing in the Rally 3 category this week, and it was the World Cup leader, Thomas Oldos, who picked up exactly where he left off in Portugal. The Frenchman keeping it nice and smooth, not taking any risks, but still doing enough to win the prologue by 8 seconds. In second place was Noah Sankt, the son of 3-time Dakar winner Richard Sankt, who died when Noah was just a baby.
Bonjour à tous.
Hello everybody, I'm Jabbar Abanani and today we're in Fez because the Rallye du Maroc starts here in my city. Fez is the spiritual and cultural capital of the kingdom. Now we're in the Medina of Fez, in the Old Town, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a real treasure trove with lots of artisans. Medina represents a lot for me because I come from Fez. My grandparents grew up here in the Old Town. I come back here to recharge my batteries. It is a magnificent place to visit, full of history and full of colour. 2022, 20 points. 2023, 24 points. 2024, 42 points. That's Nasser Al-Attiyah's margin of victory in the World Rally Raid Championship over the past 3 seasons. But this year, he has been pushed like never before. The Qatari starts the week 9 points ahead of Henk Latekan and 10 ahead of Lucas Moraes, but he was out to make a statement today that he has absolutely no intention of relinquishing the crown. The defending champion in Morocco winning the prologue by 11 seconds.
Oh, it's amazing, you know. We tried to push, but okay, I hope we can make a good time and we are so happy. Yeah, it's a prologue, but it's very important.
Very important because it shapes the starting order for tomorrow's first stage. And for Al-Attiyah's closest rival, Latekan, it wasn't such a good day. The South African admitted he and Brett Cummings were a bit hesitant and lost their way at various points. The result was 14th place and no say in tomorrow's starting positions.
Henk, how was this prologue? Not good. Yeah, we made some mistakes, so not good at all.
It was a better day for Latekan's teammate Moraes. He dropped 20 seconds to Al-Attiyah, but still finished inside the top 10 in 8th place. The Brazilian's confidence is up after his victory in Portugal, and he agrees with his rivals that it's fantastic for the sport to see the championship going down to the final round. After entering just one car in Portugal a few weeks ago, Ford M Sport have brought their full armada to Morocco. Matthias Ekstrom, Mitch Guthrie, Nani Roma and Carlos Sainz. The fastest of the quartet today was Ekstrom, who's happy to be back in the big car after winning a couple of stages in the Challengers in Portugal. The Swede finishing in 5th. In fourth place was Mathieu Serradori. The Frenchman's driving Century Racing's new CR7 with its next generation chassis. And after testing in Botswana, South Africa and Morocco, he is delighted to be here, putting the car through its paces. He and co-driver Loïc Minaudier are also looking forward to pitting themselves against the top drivers from Ford, Toyota and Dacia. Well, speaking of Dacia, there were two sand riders on the Prologue podium, with Sébastien Loeb in third place. The Frenchman was one of many to comment on the difficulty of the blind crests, with one driver saying it was like Space Mountain out there, but Loeb still put in a solid run and only lost 17 seconds to his teammate Alatia. The best of the rest today, in a spot of bother here, was João Ferreira in his Toyota Gazoo Racing Hilux. The Portuguese driver's looking forward to a nice fight this week and to seeing how things shake out in the W2RC. He recognised the potential dangers of pushing too hard, but even with a more conservative approach, he was only 11 seconds off the pace.
Very tricky, very easy to make mistakes. Okay, we try to have a good pace without pushing to have any mistakes.
Just 18 seconds today between the top five, with Roma, Sainz and Morais all 2 seconds further back. Seth Quintero and Mitch Guthrie completed the top 10. W2RC frontrunner Nicolas Cavigliasso is out to finish the job in the Challengers. The Argentine's wife, Valentina Pertigarini, has already won the co-driver's title for the second year running, and Nico just needs to keep things steady in this final round to join her as champion. He was 38 seconds off the pace today. Well, Cavigliasso doesn't need to push like crazy because he is 29 points ahead of his nearest Challenger Championship challenger, and that's this man, Pau Navarro. The Spaniard is part of a very strong BBR Motorsport lineup, and he couldn't quite match his teammates today. He finished over a minute off the pace. Well, victory went to Jaden Els, a young man that we met a little earlier in the season in South Africa. Just 21 years of age, the former karting world champion is quickly getting to grips with Rally Raid. It'll be interesting to see if he can live up to this promising prologue once we get properly stuck into the rally. Els leading in Emilio Fernandez and Puk Klassen, while former bike star Kevin Benavides was fourth. More on his switch to the T3s tomorrow. Well, the Portuguese drivers ran riot in the SSVs a few weeks ago, and the winner of the BP Ultimate Rally Raid Portugal picked up where he left off today with another victory. João Diaz doing well to conquer an absolutely stacked field, even if it was only across 19 kilometres. Well, second behind Diaz on the day was the man who finished second behind him in Portugal, Alexander Pinto. With his nearest championship rival, Enrico Gaspari, not competing this week, Pinto has already sewn up the title, but he is looking forward to a proper rumble with plenty of crews who are building towards the Dakar. Diaz and Pinto leading in a host of South Racing Can-Ams, including the factory drivers Jeremias Gonzalez Ferrioli and Chaleco Lopez.